Hello and welcome back to the Full-Thrive YouTube channel. You know, one of the challenges of being a freelancer is getting paid and sending invoices. And I teach the freelancers in our Facebook group all about making sure they get a deposit paid up front. But if you're on Upwork, that might be a little tricky. In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to turn an hourly project into a project-based, how to get milestones funded before you even get started. I'm going to show you all about the different payment structures and how to communicate with a sense of urgency to make sure that your client understands the value of paying a deposit and getting started right away. Get ready, it's coming up. Getting paid and getting a deposit up front. Really, there is a lot of work before you get to do the work. And I know I have said this several times. I'm going to continue to remind you. If you have any frustration, if you have any angst around your business, it's likely because you may be resisting all of the work you have to do before you get to do the work you really want to do, the reason why you started your business in the first place. So there's the applying for jobs, the time that you put into that. If you're on Upwork, I'm recommending that 2 times a day you're spending time applying for jobs in there. Setting up discovery calls, just organizing the back and forth, making sure your Calendly is updated. Getting on the discovery calls, running through that. Creating proposals. I don't know about you, but for me, that takes the longest amount of time, right? Is setting up and creating the proposals. The negotiating, the back and forth, right? When they finally say, yeah, okay, let's do this. What about this? And you're like, there is so much work that goes in to closing a client, right? Just closing the deal and communicating well. I don't know about you, but this has happened to me many, many, many times. I have gone through each of these steps with a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes. Only to realize it really wasn't a done deal. They literally said yes all along the way. But it is not a done deal until money is paid. So, you know, there's a frustration that I know a lot of people feel that the client said yes and we still haven't gotten started, or they ghosted me, or blah, 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 or they assured me that, yeah, they would get started and I even started doing some work for them, but then they disappeared. Can I get a thumbs up, a hands up, a whole, yeah, that's happened to me before? It has happened to me a few times in the early stages that I got so tired of it, I decided to build something into my process that would help me overcome that. Now, I talked about this before in one of the other live trainings. If you ever get friction in your business, if you ever have something you're like, I don't like that, I don't want that to happen again, instead of saying, oh, it's just part of the deal, or oh, that's just the way things go, no, you go, oh no, I'm going to change this. When they say yes, they say yes with money. This is what we're going to talk about today on a deposit. Guys, for the last probably 3 years now, I have had such an incredible quick turnaround when people say yes, that they're literally paying the invoice within 2 hours, within 4 hours, definitely within 24 hours. I can't write and prepare the invoice fast enough that they pay. That is a sign of a yes, okay? So just because it's a done deal, or just because they say yes, doesn't mean it's a done deal, unfortunately. Let's talk about the benefits of getting a deposit. So many of you have said, oh, it's a good protection, or oh, I'll make sure I get paid. Yes, and there's much more to it. Show me the money. That's how I know you're serious, okay? It sets the tone of the working relationship. Honestly, guys, when you say that you want to deposit, it elevates you. People are like, oh, this is serious. And she's in charge. He's in charge. It positions you as the guide. Remember, again, I shouldn't say remember. all along in my coaching and my teaching, everything from setting up your profile, interacting with potential clients, all the way along, you want to hold that position. I often call it the power position, call it the guide position, but you want to stay in control of the process. So when everybody says yes, you don't want the client to be the first one to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. No, you say, this is what we're going to do. Here are our next steps. So it positions you as the guide. It ensures they don't ghost you. It ensures that when they say, hey, we're going to get started, you get started. That there isn't 3 weeks, 3 months from now. Okay? Until you get a deposit, there is no timeline. There is no, project staying on track. How many of you have had, oh, this cracks me up. How many of you have had clients that are like, this is urgent. I needed it last week. Like, we've got to get started on this. How quickly can you get it done? This is all part of your, discovery process, your proposal. And they're like, how fast? What's your timeline? Blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as they say yes, it's like time stands still for them. All of that disappears. And you're like, I thought you were in a hurry. I shifted my work around so I could do this, blah, blah, blah. So when you get a deposit, you better believe if somebody pays money, they're going to get started. And even if they don't, guess what? You've already been paid. Okay? So it does ensure that projects stay on time. It protects your best interests. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later in our training today. But if you're like me, a lot of the work is done up front. That first or second call is where almost all the value is delivered. Not all of it, but so much of it. And there is a chance that if you do the work and then ask for payment and they don't pay you, you could be working for free. Notice that's the fourth reason. That's the bottom of the reason, but it does protect your best interests. Much of the value is front-loaded. I used to divide my projects and the way that people would pay me in equal parts. And then as my coach helped me realize, Lisa, where does most of the value come? Where does most of the ideas come? Where does the unlocking? Where does the clarity? I was like, oh, first 2 calls, done and done. Like, after those 2 calls, I literally could do all the work all by myself. I don't need the client again. And so he helped me shift my pricing, my packages, my proposals, and front load it. So it costs more in the beginning. And then if they were to disappear, they were to cancel, they were to for some reason just not continue on, I have covered my cost. I have covered the value that I've delivered. So, when you think about how much you want to get paid for work or a project, don't undervalue the beginning stages, the strategy, the untangling, the clarity that you might bring. You then might deliver the graphic design or the social media post or, the spreadsheet, but that emotional, intelligence labor that you put up front, make sure that you're pricing or you're managing your payments by that. And so that, like I just said, that you have covered all your costs at the front end, even if they disappear or the project was to cancel for any time. Is that helpful? Have you ever thought about it that way? Do you put that much value on yourself and what you deliver? You need to think about that. Not just what will the client pay, but what are you giving? What are you delivering? Hey guys, thank you for watching. And if you are looking for more about freelancing, how to find clients you like, do work that you love on your own schedule, check out our videos. Make sure you subscribe so you always know when the next video drops. And we have a free Facebook group called the Full-Thrive Freelancers. We'd love to see you there.